I'm Don Patterson, and it is my honor and pleasure to be your Kettering Mayor. On behalf of the entire Kettering City Council, I share with you the state of the city. One of the most important responsibilities is to share with you the success of the previous year and the projects, initiatives, and service improvements we have in store for the Kettering community in the year to come. At the City of Kettering, our priority is to provide exceptional services while being wise stewards of our resources. We regularly communicate with you to demonstrate how your tax money is being used to improve Kettering, and I hope my annual State of the City provides another medium to accomplish that. Before we begin to revisit the events that made 2020 an unforgettable year, I am stopping right here to thank all of you. Last year was one of the toughest tests for all of us, and we did the best we could with what we had, together. Last year was exhausting and crushing moments of loss, along with unforgettable opportunities to serve one another. I am honored to work alongside my fellow City Council members, Tony Kleepaz, who serves as Vice Mayor, Jackie Fisher, Bruce Duke, Joe Wanamaker, Bill Lauder, and former Council member Rob Scott. Thank you for sharing your expertise and unwavering community advocacy. Mr. Scott was recently appointed to Kettering Clerk of Courts. It is also my pleasure to applaud Councilman Duke, who was recently appointed to the National League of Cities Board of Directors. It is a privilege to serve the best residents in the region. I look forward to working with you in my final year as your mayor and hope to continue making a positive difference in our community and beyond. Kettering's story began more than 60 years ago, and it continues to be a vibrant and flourishing community. We have celebrated great successes in recent years. Our employers are thriving, our business parks are benefiting from reinvestment, and our commercial properties remain in great demand. Kettering saw some of the highest gains in residential property value in the region, proving that moving to Kettering was a wise investment. What better way to present this year's State of the City than by telling the story of Kettering in 2020? Like every great story, ours has heroes and adversaries. In Chapter 1 of our 2020 recap, we introduce our heroes, the great employees, residents, and businesses in Kettering. During 2020, I have felt and witnessed worry, defeat, anger, joy, fear, hope, inner strength, and heightened human connection. In a matter of months, our residents, city employees, business owners, and patrons worked together to reinvent the essence of the self-starter Mr. Kettering invented 110 years ago. And through it all, we learned that each day can be a good one or a bad one, depending on how we choose to look at it. It's all about perspective. It's all about resilience. And in a matter of months, all of you emerged as heroes. Let me take a moment to brag about some of our heroes. So many of our City of Kettering employees and even residents receive distinguished awards throughout the year, recognizing their initiative, skill, and tireless service. As a community, we have so much for which to be proud. So let's get to it. We round out Chapter 1 at the Government Center, 3600 Schroyer Road. This is where ideas become reality. Ideas from our residents and business owners, as well as projects city employees create to maintain and exceed the exceptional amenities and services we offer. This is where people who care about you will find answers to your questions and help turn your problems into promising possibilities. Right next door, you'll find beautiful Lincoln Park Civic Commons, where you can relax and watch the world go by as a new flag waves from above. We joined together to complete the 2020 census, and I am happy to report that nearly 80% of Kettering residents completed the survey. Being counted will result in more funding opportunities for our community. In Chapter 2, we were all introduced to the coronavirus pandemic, our biggest adversary. In February, news of a novel coronavirus kept inching its way into state and local media outlets. The City of Kettering immediately began close watch on decisions made by the Ohio Department of Health and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The city administration quickly developed a COVID-19 task force to develop plans to mitigate rumors, promote safe work conditions, and keep employees physically and emotionally healthy. As the governor began to conduct daily press conferences, Kettering was on the verge of opening its activities for the spring and summer. On March 16th at 5 p.m., recreation facilities closed to the public. As we moved towards summer, this new adversary became a force to be reckoned with. Kettering is home to summer fun. Frey's Pavilion offers summer concerts and festivals, and the Go Forth celebration honors our freedom with fireworks and a festival at Delco Park. The Adventure Reef Water Park is a daily must for kids of all ages, along with our splash pad and summer camps. But an adversary takes no greater pleasure than stealing joy and keeping all of us guessing. In turn, some of the toughest, most heartbreaking decisions needed to be made swiftly and carefully. As the pandemic heightened, the decision was made to cancel summer activities in Kettering. Without activities and with lower revenue, the city began to feel the pandemic's impact as layoffs and furloughs were now part of our history. Approximately 240 employees were impacted in this decision. Employees and residents alike were introduced to a new, distant way of doing business, using conference calls, drive-through events, and mandatory facial coverings. The ebb and flow of pandemic requirements was fluid, and we all assimilated remarkably well. Impacts of the pandemic caused the tax filing deadline extension to July 15th. The City of Kettering Finance Department takes pride in its conservative approach and the resulting benefits. Because of the years of due diligence and meticulous financial management, the decreased income tax percentages still found the city's financial picture stable and original goals attainable. With the news of WilmerHale and Synchrony Financial leaving the city came significant loss of revenue and cause for further budget cuts in preparation for 2021. We rallied and determined that personnel costs would be decreased with a continued hiring freeze, with the exception of public safety, as well as through attrition, including retirement and resignations. Each department was tasked with decreasing 2021 budgets by 5% in order to accomplish the goals set forth in the city's strategic plan. The City of Kettering received $3.1 million for public safety personnel costs relative to services provided to the community throughout the pandemic. In most good stories, the adversary gains momentum. The real heroes emerge, and Kettering's story is no different. Chapter 3 of our 2020 story is one of several chapters where we talk more about our great heroes and the many ways in which they keep our city healthy despite the challenges in our own way. In this chapter, we focus on our community development heroes. We remain a leader in the community as the only jurisdiction in the county and one of few in the state that is 100% digital in plan review and permitting. We are proud to be honored with awards and recognition for our public service and cherish the regular positive feedback from our community. Our goal is to make progress easier for residents and business owners. We certainly place a great deal of focus on attracting new businesses and helping those already in Kettering grow and thrive here. In Kettering, the vast majority of our amenities and valued city services are funded by income tax. If we don't have the jobs, we don't have the resources to support the infrastructure, facility, and services our residents and business communities treasure. In the end, our goal is to protect the investment that you have made when you decided to call Kettering home. That means we invest in our commercial centers to support job growth, as well as in our neighborhoods and world-class amenities. Let me show you what I mean as we take a look at the Miami Valley Research Park. The Research Park continues to be a large economic driver for Kettering. The City of Kettering purchased more than 300 acres of unimproved land from the Miami Valley Research Foundation. As a landlocked community, the opportunity to acquire land for redevelopment is rare and exciting. The property is located in the northeast quadrant of Kettering. Miami Valley Research Park continues to see a surge of improvements to both existing facilities and available land. The city will continue to work with the KDC to aggressively market the land remaining for development and work with existing tenants to explore expansion opportunities. Community Tissue Services broke ground in 2018 for a 132,000 square foot expansion at its Miami Valley Research Park facility. This expansion promises to more than double the current footprint, allowing for additional processing capabilities, marketing, distribution, and supply chain management. The expansion will create more than 200 jobs, primarily in the manufacturing and support fields at the company's Center for Tissue Innovation and Research. CTS is the nation's largest nonprofit provider of skin grafts for burn patients. Life Connection of Ohio will be purchasing nearly 9 acres at the intersection of Research Park Boulevard and Woodman Drive in the Miami Valley Research Park. Life Connection of Ohio is a nonprofit organization that has promoted and facilitated organ donation for 30 years. Last year, LCO coordinated the recovery of organs from 93 donors, providing 310 life-saving transplants. The proposed expansion will more than triple LCO's square footage, allowing for a larger workforce, expected to nearly double from 58 to 100 in 5 years. LCO's new location in Kettering is expected to be nearly 30,000 square feet. LCO hopes to take occupancy by the end of 2021. We completed the extension of College Drive in the Miami Valley Research Park near CTS. This critical infrastructure project will link existing businesses and make way for additional future development. During 2020, Industrial Commercial Properties purchased 4 buildings and 28 acres of land at the Miami Valley Research Park. Situated near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the developer views the properties as suitable to facilitate defense contractors and research users. This is a vacant land once home to the Kettering Moraine Museum, purchased for redevelopment for nearly $250,000 in 2020. We look forward to facilitating business opportunities at that location as well. Now let's take a look at the Kettering Business Park. Over the past several years, Kettering saw steady growth and expansion at the business park, formerly Gentilly Air Force Station, which employs nearly 2,000 people at Alternate Solutions Health Network, N12 Technologies, PrimeMed Physicians, and the Kettering Municipal Court. Alternate Solutions Health Network, founded in 1999 as a national leader in post-acute strategic partnerships. They collaborate with health systems to build a post-acute continuum of care focused on technology, efficiency, and performance. Alternate Solutions Health Network is dedicated to transforming the quality of care for both partners and patients. Alternate Solutions continues to thrive and expand in their 200,000 square foot headquarters with expected growth in the employment of 340 jobs by 2021. Kettering Health Network opened their state-of-the-art command center in 2019. The facility continues to handle all scheduling and patient management for the entire health network. The City of Kettering sold 14 acres of land, now the home to an Amazon last-mile package distribution center. The site now holds a 100,000 square foot distribution center and associated delivery vehicle parking areas. Nearly 400 part-time Amazon employees are working in the facility, with 6 companies providing drivers for the operation. Like most, this year has certainly brought the City of Kettering new challenges. We accepted those challenges and continue to seek ways to strengthen our community. The City of Kettering also partners with the businesses that choose to call this community home. In response to the pandemic, the City of Kettering Economic Development Team distributed PPE safety toolkits donated by Jobs Ohio to assist small businesses throughout our communities. These PPE safety toolkits will provide small businesses in Kettering resources to stay protected during the phased reopening of Ohio. We'll round out Chapter 3 by talking about the Business Assistance Program created by Planning and Development and Economic Development Department in response to the pandemic. The COVID-19 Business Assistance Program met the needs of businesses in the community. the city repurposed existing business loan funds, providing a responsive lifeline to local businesses. The city created a forgivable loan product that was accessible, quick, and easy to get into the hands of challenged business owners. With hard work and flexible thinking, the city assisted businesses and retained jobs. The project reflects outstanding performance in addressing significant and immediate needs in our community. In Chapter 4, we recognize our resilience in maintaining the city's infrastructure. The city of Kettering itself is almost 70 years old, and some of our neighborhoods nearing 100. Like anything that has been around this long, we have places that are starting to deteriorate. City Council has made reinvestment in infrastructure a critical priority because we want to maintain a city that is well kept, attractive, and vibrant. We want our city to grow older with grace and enhance its rich character by continuing to strengthen the foundation upon which it was built. We are putting just as much care into Kettering neighborhoods as we are on major thoroughfares with our prioritized residential reconstruction and repaving programs. We know that while our residents are investing in improvements beyond the curb, it is our responsibility to invest in the streets, drives, boulevards, and avenues that connect our neighborhoods. Whether we lead projects to repair or install new curbs and sidewalks or maintain roadways, the city is committed to putting every neighborhood on a rotating schedule for improvements that prevent deterioration. Kettering worked in partnership with Beaver Creek to analyze traffic patterns and ultimately planned for significant improvements to County Line Road in 2021. The project will add a lane of traffic in each direction in order to ease daily vehicle flow and will also extend the multi-use path from the edge of the Miami Valley Research Park all the way to Dorothy Lane and Stroop Road. Ultimately, this will connect to the recently constructed multi-use path that leads to Indian Riffle Park, the Rob Deerdeck Skate Plaza, and the Kettering Recreation Complex. Let's take a closer look at Wilmington Pike, an area where the city has placed significant focus in recent years. Wilmington Pike is an essential corridor in Kettering, passing all of the way from our northern to our southern boundaries. It is also a stretch of town that fell into less than desirable state over the years. 7 years ago, I assembled a group of Kettering business leaders, residents, real estate experts, and city council representatives to create a strategic plan for this critical corridor. The task force established priorities and outlined phases for redevelopment that will result in a rejuvenated thoroughfare. Our investment in the Wilmington Pike corridor continues to prove beneficial. Michael Chu's restaurant purchased a former sports bar that went vacant in 2009 and plans to expand the dining space by adding a patio. The outdoor dining area will add 3,000 square feet to the 4,700 square feet building. The renovations will take place in 2021. The restaurant will bring 10 jobs to Kettering. Along with significant indoor renovations, the owner plans to add a new street facade, as well as ambient outdoor features. The restaurant will receive up to $25,000 from the City of Kettering's Wilmington Pike Facade and Improvement Program that helps properties in the corridor conform to city code. We are dedicated to the Wilmington Pike improvement process, and we are excited to watch as it transforms into a vibrant corridor. In 2021, Far Hills Avenue will be resurfaced between David Road and the Oakwood Corporation line. We'll finish Chapter 4 by heading over to the northwest side of Kettering. Throughout Kettering, several bridges are reaching the end of their useful life, and in most cases require complete replacement. The City of Kettering unveiled a new public art piece to the community, constructed as part of the Shantz Avenue Bridge Replacement Project. Shantz was designed to be a visible gateway for those entering and leaving Kettering along South Dixie Highway. The steel decorative pattern was inspired by the historic trolleys that ran along the Dixie Corridor, as well as the ornamentation of the historic cash registers manufactured nearby. Be sure to visit at night to see the full effect. The Ridgeway Road Bridge is also being replaced following significant public engagement efforts to collect feedback on project alternatives. City Council directed City Administration to pursue grant funding for the purpose of reconstructing the bridge, and the Ohio Department of Transportation's Municipal Bridge Program granted the award. This project will also include an art installation to reflect the surrounding landscape of Hills and Dales Metro Park. In Chapter 5, we will focus on the great heroes in Kettering's medical community who work tirelessly to protect us from the looming adversary. Kettering Health Network, with their flagship Kettering Medical Center on Southern Boulevard, remains not only our largest employer, but also one of our most loyal community partners. They continually upgrade and expand their facilities and services. Look at this facility, where Kettering Health Network broke ground in August of 2020 on a multi-million-dollar medical office building that will focus on senior care and house more than 30 jobs. The East Kettering Health Center will serve an increasing aging population in Montgomery County's most populated suburban city. Nearly 18.5% of Kettering's estimated 54,800 residents are 65 or older. Projected to open in the summer of 2021, the structure steel frame building on a previously vacant 1.45-acre lot will represent a $5.6 million investment by Kettering Health Network. 8 physicians and advanced practice providers, 1 behavioral health specialist, and 20 to 25 support team members will offer primary care, internal medicine, behavioral health, and educational classes. The site will include X-ray and lab areas with more than 20 exam rooms in 14,316 square feet of space. Thank you to our healthcare heroes who have touched most of our lives in some way during 2020. As we move into Chapter 6, we focus on all the great Kettering heroes who have contributed to the continued improvement of our neighborhoods. Being over 60 years old, Kettering has a varied selection of homes and neighborhoods of all ages from which to choose. Making our way down Dorothy Lane to Prue Woods Drive, we see an enclave of 37 newly constructed single-family homes in a park-like setting surrounded by maturing neighborhoods. The housing market in Kettering remains strong and was recognized as such by being ranked 4th in the state of Ohio. Properties in every style and price range continue to sell, often within days of listing. We are also excited about some of the reinvestment taking place in our neighborhoods as private real estate entrepreneurs purchase, renovate, and place updated homes in highly desirable locations back on the market. One by one, these like-new properties spark momentum for more improvements to those nearby. And soon, house by house, street by street, the property values of the entire neighborhood begin to rise. Our residents' efforts to maintain and improve their property are important and appreciated. As a way to be recognized and promote these improvement efforts, the city continues to sponsor the Neighborhood Pride Awards program. The award recognizes residents and businesses that have made significant improvements to their home or business or have maintained their places impeccably year after year. Despite the hurdles the pandemic placed upon us, we worked within the safety guidelines in place to proceed with this cherished initiative. Eudora Brewing Company, Strathmore Crossing, and Valvoline Oil were 3 of the businesses that received awards along with 33 residential properties. Congratulations to all of the 2020 winners. Thank you for your efforts to make your property and our neighborhoods something special. I extend my gratitude to the Neighborhood Pride Committee for their efforts to review nominations and select the winners. There's an initiative to reinvest in our neighborhoods that is very unique and special to me. When I ran for office, one of my goals was to help revitalize Kettering neighborhoods and housing stock. Together, we combined our ongoing participation in National Make a Difference Day with Cities of Service to develop an ongoing neighborhood revitalization initiative. Since 2011, the city has done just that by adopting a neighborhood each year and leading efforts for reinvestment. A group of city staff takes a look at a number of elements, including the number of foreclosures, property maintenance violations, crime statistics, and more to determine improvements to be made. We focus on areas in which we think we can build some community spirit. The first neighborhood chosen for this program was Richmond Heights. followed by Indianola, Southern Hills North, Berwyn Park, Oak Park, Haverstick, and neighborhoods north of East David Road and Ireland Park. Without the care and ingenuity of the city's volunteers, this program would have had to take a timeout for 2020. Creative thinking and adapting to the new protocols allowed by the state, the program marched on, resulting in mask distribution, holiday card production for military personnel and nursing home residents, as well as trees being planted in Van Buren Park. Throughout the city, our community development team works one-on-one with residents who desire to make improvements to their homes or wish to buy a home in Kettering and need financial support to make that dream come true. Kettering's Rehabbing a Home initiative has a number of low-interest loan programs to encourage and assist homeowners with financing for home repairs and remodeling efforts. A few examples of repairs and improvements include roof replacements, new windows and doors, and heating and electrical system replacements. Typically, the city serves 20 to 40 people a year, depending upon the amount of individual applications received. The city also carries out larger projects, tearing down vacant houses that are in bad shape and collaborating with owners of rundown properties to improve the space. In addition, Habitat for Humanity houses are built throughout the city, with one located on Dorothy Lane and several east of Woodman Drive. Overall, the city's goal is to make Kettering as accessible as possible and grow its housing reinvestments. Let's round out Chapter 6 by taking the scenic route back to the Government Center to talk about property maintenance. Here in Kettering, we have expected standards that apply to each and every property, regardless of location, size, or value. We have a dedicated team of inspectors who systematically review property concerns and work with residents to resolve issues. Here we are. Certainly this is a place you all recognize and terribly miss. Fray's Pavilion is a crown jewel of Kettering and one of the things our residents love about calling Kettering home. The Fray's Pavilion awaits the sound of music, applause, and memories being made. Hang on, we'll get there. Chapter 7 is all about our great city employee heroes. In the absence of our annual Christmas gathering at Poland Farm due to the pandemic, our volunteer office developed our first annual Home for the Holiday Tour of Lights to rave reviews. Residents decked their houses and submitted photos. Our volunteer office put together a map to guide residents to these spectacular displays. In 2020, we learned more than ever the importance of online services. I encourage you to visit www.ketteringoh.org. You will see a place right on our homepage where you can get quick answers to frequent questions, as well as report issues of concern that need the city's attention. This feature works on both our website and from our Facebook. The city is just a touch away, 24/7. Request police reports, report concerns, ask questions, and provide feedback for most city services. Certainly exceptional city services make Kettering unique in the region. Among the most treasured city services is the protection offered by our Kettering police and fire departments. Our 4 fire stations are staffed 24 hours a day with personnel trained and equipped to respond to your calls for service. In 2020, the Kettering Fire Department responded to nearly 9,000 calls for assistance. In February 2020, Kettering Fire Department welcomed Rescue Engine 34. In addition to pumping water, this E1 fire engine also carries technical rescue equipment stored in the front bumper for rapid deployment during serious vehicle crashes. KFD members have worked for more than 2 years to ensure this vehicle is equipped to provide the best possible service to our residents. The Kettering Fire Department will also welcome a new ladder truck to replace the oldest vehicle in their fleet. We welcome Mitch Robbins as our new fire chief as we bid farewell to longtime Chief Tom Butts. This change led to several promotions within our fire department, and we are so proud. We also celebrated our very own Fire Marshal Bill Ford as he received the distinguished honor of the Fire Official of the Year. To better serve our citizens and first responders A new computer-aided dispatch and records management system was implemented in the police and fire departments in 2020. The system tracks and categorizes calls for service, reports, and generates important statistical information. We continue a multi-year replacement project for the software that runs our emergency dispatch center. We completed a technology advancement which ensures the continuity of our emergency operations center and backup dispatch operations, a safeguard to protect all of us should a catastrophic natural disaster occur. These are only a few of the projects that will dramatically improve our ability to reach you in case of an emergency. The fiber optic service ring, completed in partnership with Miami Valley Communication Council and 7 neighboring communities, is critical to our public safety operations as well as our efforts to attract new businesses. Data service is now a highly demanded form of infrastructure for companies and a critical resource for public safety. Partnering with our neighbors to install the fiber ring made the project more affordable and allowed us to connect our emergency operations centers to theirs, increasing the reliability of our system, particularly in the case of a disaster or citywide outage. We were proud to lead the way on this regional project and know that offering this modern infrastructure amenity will be highly valuable. We completed the design for a major renovation of the Kettering Police Department headquarters within the Government Center complex. This significant project will bring the facility up to modern standards, improve and expand the functionality of the existing space, expand the operations of our Public Safety Dispatch Center, and create a new combined entrance for visitors to the Government Center North Building and Police Headquarters. In September, the Chief of Police and administrative offices moved into the new upper-level addition as renovation continued in the lower level at Police Headquarters. The health and safety of Kettering residents is paramount. Beginning in 2021, all Kettering police officers will wear body-worn cameras on their persons, which will be utilized during any transaction with the public. KPD added a crisis intervention specialist to their team to spend time responding to mental health-related calls for service with an officer, conducting follow-ups on at-risk individuals, assisting in professional placement of those needing assistance, as well as helping train KPD personnel on mental health-related topics. Our School Resource Officers program grew from 2 officers to 5. Placing a dedicated Kettering Police Department partner throughout our schools. By establishing a presence in each school, the school resource officer can build trusting relationships with students by participating as active members of the school community and on the premises in the event a safety matter arises. Our public safety team is always ready to make the changes that will best protect the lives and health of our citizens. In our final chapter, we bring all the pieces of 2020's story together to show how the great heroes of Kettering masterfully managed daily service offerings, alternative programming, and our budget in response to our unexpected adversary, the pandemic. The pandemic stopped us in our tracks, just for a minute. Then it caused us to join together, 6 feet apart, to plan our next steps. Try as it might, it could not defeat us. Budget constraints are present, and our employees continue to make sacrifices to make do with what we have. Together, we blocked and pivoted to stop the endless punches of the pandemic threw at us. Our Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department developed alternative programs for summer activities and helped prepare one of the most memorable tree lighting ceremonies we've ever had, albeit virtual. Through it all, the hearts of human beings prevail. And when I hear of the overwhelming generosity of our Kettering community, I am so proud to live here and be part of it. I'd like to end my presentation this year with a shining example. City staff includes a full-time compliance and inclusion manager to help us ensure that our facilities, projects, and programs meet ADA standards. And city staff are trained to lean towards yes in support of requests from the public. As fall sports programs for children opened up following the state safety guidelines, the importance of this position and its connection with all departments in the city was ever present for one child who was signed up for one of our fall sports. Having participated the year before, the sports supervisor remembered the player and instantly knew that masks required during the pandemic season would be an obstacle for that particular player. For the child, communication hinged upon reading lips. The inclusion and compliance manager had masks made for the two coaches and turned this potential hardship into a success. City of Kettering employees proved once again that they are in touch with the talents of one another, the community, and their customers. The City of Kettering volunteer program celebrated its 41st year of service. What began as a group of volunteers planting marigolds in the medium has blossomed into a force of more than 1,124 active volunteers to assist city staff by expanding city programs, enhancing city services, building an understanding of city government, and encouraging community pride. Although COVID kept our volunteer family apart for most of 2020, the connection and desire to help others remained strong. Volunteers made masks and made phone calls to ensure residents who were homebound had the food and supplies they needed. Since 1979, because of our volunteers, the City of Kettering has saved over $23 million in staff time. You are truly the essence of Kettering's community spirit, and we are grateful. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to all Kettering residents who take their commitment to serving our community to the next level. Their leadership is critical and their input vital. And to every resident, thank you. In Kettering, we highly value engaged residents, opportunities to have meaningful dialogue, and active participation in the leadership of our community. I and my fellow members of City Council truly enjoy hearing from those we represent. We encourage you to join us for a City Council meeting on the second and fourth Tuesday of every month at 7:30 p.m. and stay connected to our city communications to ensure you are always in the know about the latest city projects, service announcements, and alerts. In 2021, I hope you will consider the ways you or someone you know might get involved in a leadership role in the Kettering community. Everyone has a talent, and together we are unstoppable. Our Kettering Leadership Academy and our various city boards and commissions are frequently looking for new members. These are great opportunities to learn more about the city and create a path to additional leadership opportunities. What an incredible year of positive human spirit, rising above the negative effects of the pandemic. I am grateful each day for the opportunity to join together with all of you to roll up our sleeves and help maintain the luster of this grand city. We have something special here, and the mission we share to keep it that way drives us to serve and contribute our ideas and talents. My service as City Council member, and now as your mayor, has been repaid tenfold in the friendships I've developed. The overwhelming gratitude I feel for being part of strengthening what we have and the most rewarding lessons I've been blessed to learn. May you and your families be healthy and prosperous in 2021. And on behalf of City Council and staff, thank you for allowing us to serve you. God bless.